Sanders got booted from the Red Hen, but just got served in a much better place. Sarah Huckabee Sanders hasn't been treated fair by the American left since day one of her taking the press secretary post from Sean Spicer. Spicer was a staunch supporter of President Trump, but for some reason didn't work out. The torch handed off to Sanders, and the media instantly tried to discredit her, and do everything in their power to make her squirm. Sanders has never given in to their hateful rhetoric or constant disrespectful attitudes during press meetings. One of the many reasons we all love Sarah has to do with how she spanks the drive-by media when they lie or try to pigeonhole her. Sarah always seems to come right back out swinging and defending the president's actions. We look at Sarah as the strong female on the front lines of a raging war against President Trump. She holds her head up high and makes sure the American people know the truth. Jim Acosta hasn't had much luck trying to push Sanders away. It was rumored the members of the media were going to try to get rid of Sarah after her first week. We see who won that fight. Sarah Sanders was famously refused service at the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia because she worked for President Trump. The owners of the Red Hen took Sarah outside and asked her to leave. Sanders was okay with this as her, and her family got up to leave without causing a scene. Could you imagine if someone asked Robert Gibbs, Jay Carney, or Josh Earnest to leave a restaurant because they worked for Barack Obama? The media would automatically resort to racism because their boss is half African American. You would think the media feminist would have defended Sanders and her family, but there is a double standard when it comes to the rights of women in the Democrat Party. The only way you're going to be defended is if you're a feminist working for someone in the Democrat Party. If you do not meet that standard, then there is no reason to defend someone like you. You're considered an enemy of the movement. Sanders didn't let her being refused service bother her. She tweeted out that she had been refused service, and she respectfully left the establishment. Good things come to people who wait. We've all been taught that. Sanders hasn't spoken about the incident for some time now, and it's paid off. Sanders is now having the time of her life at Windsor Castle, where she has been welcomed with open arms by Queen Elizabeth and the royal family. Sarah tweeted out of a photo of her having tea and meeting members of the royal family. The Queen has treated Sanders the way liberals could never do. They have zero class while the Queen is the definition of class. What an incredible experience to go with at POTUS and at FLOTUS to Windsor today. Sarah wrote. You know just as well as we do the left is fuming over this. Hell, they're fuming because President Trump shook the hand of Queen Elizabeth. Apparently, there is some protocol when meeting the Queen that you're not to touch her for any reason. That's strange. I thought we stooped caring what the British wanted after 1776? Sarah Sanders has made American proud. She stood toe-to-toe with the drive-by media and isn't going anywhere. What liberals fail to realize is the fact they don't have much of a leg to stand on anymore. They're made complete fools of themselves and expect everyone else around the world to trash the Trump administration. English leftists took to the streets as President Trump arrived in London. They protested his visit as if he was going to conquer their land. It's not clear why these people were protesting unless they were paid by George Soros to cause havoc. This seems to be the trend back home in America. However, not all Londoners were pissed off the American president came to visit. Across the other side of London, a pub in Hammersmith had renamed itself the Trump Arms for the presidential visit and was scheduled to hold an event Saturday evening featuring hot dogs, cocktails, and other American treats. Decorated with copious amounts of American flags, MAGA caps and a life-size cutout of President Trump, patrons told Fox News they had come out of their way to show support for Trump. Mark Nicholas said he objected to the way Trump had been treated when he visited London. If the Queen was treated in America the same way, we'd be up in arms, he said. I think whether you like him or don't like him, he should be treated accordingly. Landlord, currently going by the title of Chief of Staff, Damian Smith, said that it was London Mayor Sadiq Khan's approval of the Trump baby balloon that made him take the leap into changing the name of the establishment. The Trump Arms is celebrating President Trump's visit. What an insult, Not an insult to Trump because he's a tough old dog, there's no problem with him, he said. But it is an insult to the good decent American people who did vote for Mr. Trump. Smith said that they were seeing a huge increase of people coming to the pub, and the reception had been overwhelmingly positive. Outside the pub, a few protesters made their stand. Margaret Owen was wearing a sign saying "Dumb Trump" and said she was furious to see the Trump arms near her home. "To come out on my street and see this is outrageous, I am outraged," she said. When asked if she at least agreed the pub should be allowed to change its name, she said, "No, you wouldn't have Hitler there, would you?"